For the next few weeks, I'm going to do a shout out to some of the YouTubers that inspired me, taught me, entertained me, made me laugh, made me cry, because I can't do it good as they do it. But anyway, this week the shout out goes to Jay Bates. Jay, you have made me smile, you have taught me stuff, and you're one of the best editors on YouTube. Shout out to Jay Bates. Today I'm going to be putting shelves up on each end of the shop. The one on this side is going to go right under that clock where those hooks are. I'm going to take the hooks down, and then I'll put another shelf on the other side of the shop right across from it. So I'm going to take you through the process that I went through to build these shelves and then show you the result. The idea here in making our supports is to go down 13 inches. I'll show you why later. And then, if there's any error in the saw at all, I always mark with one. We're going to get two supports out of here, so I mark one edge with one mark and one with two. That way I always put the cuts in the same direction. That way the error would be the same all the way across. Hopefully there is none, but we do know that Murphy lurks among us. Okay, so we've marked it 13 and we've marked our particular ends. And now we'll make the cut. I'm going to show you how I mark these. I cut these at 13 inches because I wanted the support to be 10 inches long across here. Well, if we're going to get two out of here, we've got a shoulder that's 3 inches. So we have to have 13 inches on here. And what happens is then you can cut out mating pairs like that from it. Okay, so how do we lay that out? If you remember, just in case there's any error in my chop saw, I marked one line on one end of the board and two on the other end for where the cuts were, so that I can use all ones facing in one direction on each side. And the reason for that is if there's an error, the error will all be aiming in one direction rather than one aiming up and one aiming down and what have you. So that's important to me. It may or may not be important to you, but that's okay. Alright, now, so I want to mark off my shoulder, which is 3 inches. I want to do that top and bottom. Now I want to divide this board in half, which in this case would be 2 3/4 inches. Finished off at 5.5 inches. Alright, so I draw a light line through the entirety of it. But make it heavier in the middle because that's where the cut will be. Okay, now, here's where the trick comes in. Where do we get our angle, our curves? We go to our 3-inch mark. We set our compass to where it is exactly from that line, from that center line to the edge of the board. Now we've got to have a little bit of a place to set our pin. So what I do is I come back over here, touch my pencil lead to the line, find as close to the edge as I can get with my pen. Okay, make sure that touches that line. Okay, I'm a little bit high, so I got to pull back. Now, you'll get a perfect curve from that line down to your 3-inch line. Your darker lead in there. Okay, now flip it. Do the same thing again. Put our lead on the 3-inch mark. Get as close to the edge as we can. Now double check that that's going to touch properly and adjust your, okay, make it touch that line, center line. And now, voila, we have our, if we go cut that on the bandsaw, we will have these two right here. And then later on we'll round this over, and you know, this is not furniture, we're just putting up a utility shelf in a shop, so not like we're going to make it beautiful, but I kind of like to nicen it a little bit. Okay, let's go cut. Now, I've prepared my 2x6 to hold my supports, and this is how I put the supports on there. Of course, you have to mark off spacings. I spaced them out 10 inches apart, because who knows what this is going to hold. Be anything from wood to whatever, so it may have some weight on it. Pull that back in. Come in with my square. Square it up. Make sure you're on your line. And make sure you're level with the top, because that's where your board is going to rest. Alright, now once that's done, tighten up good. Flip it over. Put in a 3-inch deck screw. Loosen this and move it out a little bit, tighten it back, maybe not quite so tight. Put the middle one in, and put your third screw in, and voila! If you do that all the way across, all of your supports will be level and even with the back. I love basic clamps, but they can be a pain to operate sometimes. This is pretty reliable. If you get this lined up with this, is touching both this and this, you can just about count on it being correct. Do our 3-screw routine. Now we're down to the one we came for. The last one. After a good day's work, we have them up. Have one on both sides. Now I will eventually span the width of the shop as well and connect those to each other across the backside. But as you can see, it turned out really nice. The shelves are very supportive, very strong. screwed those into the studs, of course, and that makes them quite strong. Got one on the other side that we did the same way. So in the next week or so, I'll make a couple more of those supports and screw them up on the back side of the wall and then connect those two, and I'll have a 3-sided shelf all the way around my shop. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.